What if Jon Moxley returned to WWE? What would that look like? How would he be booked? And is that even possible? AEW's recent struggles, which we won't delve into here, stand in stark contrast to WWE's hot streak, a streak that's lured back several big AEW names. From Cody Rhodes and CM Punk to Penta and Ricky Starks, the talent pipeline seems to be flowing towards WWE. So, the million-dollar question, could we ever see AEW's current world champion, Jon Moxley, back in a WWE ring? Is it a pipe dream or a real possibility? Moxley is a multiple-time world champion in AEW, and he is currently the champion there. So it already seems impossible and redundant that he would leave AEW for WWE, given that he is at the top of the company. Not to mention, he has been consistently booked well in AEW. And the last time he was in WWE, well, he was wearing a germaphobe mask and getting bodied by Nia Jax. So we are already fighting an uphill battle. Why would he leave the top spot in one company to potentially be just another wrestler in another? Moxley is the guy in AEW. He's the champion, a top draw, and a central figure in their programming. Leaving that position for an uncertain role in WWE would be a huge gamble. He's clearly valued in AEW, and that's a powerful incentive to stay. Does that sound familiar to you all? CM Punk was in a similar position in May 2022, if you still remember. He was at the top of AEW after returning to wrestling after a nearly decade-long absence. He was consistently booked well, he was the champion, and he was clearly in a position of leadership at AEW. Back then, no one could even entertain the idea of CM Punk coming to WWE. What Culture Wrestling even made a video about the list of wrestlers who would never leave AEW, and CM Punk's name was on the list. But lo and behold, in Chicago at Survivor Series, War Games in 2023, hell froze over, and CM Punk returned to WWE in his hometown of Chicago. Anything can happen. This is not to say Jon Moxley and CM Punk are the same person. They are both very different people with different professional aspirations. It's crucial to avoid equating their paths simply because they both achieved top status in AEW and were once in WWE. While both are top guys in AEW, their circumstances are different. Punk's departure from AEW was surrounded by controversy and backstage drama, which likely played a significant role in his decision to return to WWE. Moxley, while AEW has faced challenges, hasn't publicly expressed any dissatisfaction with his position or the company's direction. However, the circumstances surrounding CM Punk's departure from WWE were far more acrimonious than Moxley's. This difference is a key factor when considering the possibility of a Moxley return. If Punk, despite his very public and bitter falling out with WWE, could eventually find his way back, it certainly opens the door for other wrestlers, including Moxley, to do the same. I think it's safe to say that Jon Moxley would be treated like $1,000,000 if he came back. The fact that he returns would be so shocking, and considering the improvements he has made overall in his wrestling style, if he comes back, he would be up there with his former Shield brothers as one of the top guys. Imagine him coming back at the Royal Rumble and immediately eliminating Seth Rollins, the brother who stabbed him in the back. The internet would break. The possibility of a Shield reunion, even if only for a short time, would be a major selling point. Fans would be clamoring to see Moxley alongside Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns again. Even without a full reunion, the dynamic between Moxley and his former Shield brothers would create compelling storylines and matches. Not to mention the potential feud with CM Punk. Their pre-existing tension from AEW adds a layer of genuine animosity that could make for some truly compelling storytelling. Both Moxley and Punk are known for their exceptional promo skills. The verbal battles between them would be must-see television. They're both articulate, passionate, and capable of cutting deeply personal and believable promos. Their history in AEW suggests there's unfinished business between them. This provides a natural storyline hook for a WWE feud. They could pick up where they left off and finally settle their score. In simple words, a Moxley versus Punk feud in WWE is a license to print money. WWE has become adept at keeping surprise returns under wraps, and if Moxley were to return, they would likely employ similar tactics. The element of surprise is a powerful tool for generating excitement and buzz, and WWE understands how to use it effectively. A Moxley return would be no exception. It's highly likely he'd be thrust into a prominent role immediately. He wouldn't be brought back as a mid-carder. He'd be positioned as a top star from the get-go. This could involve going straight for a title shot or targeting his former Shield brothers. The goal would be to make his return feel significant and establish him as a major player right away. A feud with Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, or both, would be a natural storyline direction for Moxley's return. The history between them, the dynamics of their past as the Shield, and the potential for compelling matches make this a logical and exciting option. It would instantly give Moxley a high-profile feud and re-establish him as a top guy. Depending on the timing and circumstances, a title shot could also be on the table. If a championship match makes sense within the context of his return storyline, WWE wouldn't hesitate to capitalize on the opportunity. It would further elevate the importance of his return and give fans a major match to look forward to. WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble are WWE's biggest events, and they're the perfect stage for a major return like Moxley's. The larger audience, the heightened atmosphere, and the historical significance of these events would all contribute to making his return a truly special occasion. The Royal Rumble, in particular, with its surprise entrance, is a classic setting for a shocking return. While the initial return would be about creating a huge moment, WWE would also need to have a long-term plan for Moxley's character and storylines. They couldn't just bring him back for a one-off pop. They'd need to integrate him into the ongoing narrative and give him meaningful feuds and opportunities to shine. However, WWE's recent track record with returning or debuting talent from AEW suggests a shift in approach, and it's a positive sign for Moxley's potential future. The success of Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and others who have made the jump from AEW to WWE speaks for itself. These wrestlers have been positioned as top stars, given prominent storylines, and allowed to showcase their talents. This demonstrates that WWE is willing to invest in talent from other promotions and treat them as valuable assets. They're no longer as resistant to bringing in wrestlers who have worked for their competitors. This change in attitude is beneficial for wrestlers like Moxley, as it increases their options and expands the range of potential opportunities. While there's always an element of competition between wrestling promotions, it seems WWE has moved past the point of petty ego battles. They're more focused on acquiring talent that will enhance their product, regardless of where that talent has worked in the past. Moxley isn't just any wrestler. He's a proven main eventer, a former WWE champion, and a major star in AEW. WWE would likely recognize his value and treat him accordingly. They wouldn't bring him back to be just another guy. They'd bring him back to be a top player. One reason that may make Moxley leave AEW is the frequency of injuries in the promotion. If you want to find out why AEW wrestlers are so often injured, click the video on screen now.